Hello, friends, and welcome to Adventures in Pixie Land. My name is Amy. I am an ordained minister, and we are in Bible study. We are in the NIV, and we will be through the rest of 2025, starting at January 1st, 2026. We'll be doing the KJV. We also got the new KJV and the Good News Bible in the other day, and we have the Catholic Bible on hand as well, and that's one of the objectives of this channel is to read as many versions of the Bible as we can, okay, and to compare the languages to each other. That is something that I am actively working on, starting with the Proverbs, because on the Facebook page, all the KJV Proverbs have already been given my Cliff Notes handy way of remembering them kind of thing, like the real lesson behind it. And the NIV ones are up there now, so I'm actively getting to see the actual written word difference between the two. In this video, though, we are doing Exodus chapter 20, verses 1 through 26. So let's jump in. Now, at this point, Moses has led everybody to the bottom of Mount Sinai. He has given everybody this, you can't go up there or God's going to kill you. Only Aaron can come up here with me. Because he took Aaron up there with him. Now, God also made it kind of look like the mountain is on fire. So people were not really enticed to want to go up there anywhere. They were like, no problem. You can walk up the fire mountain on your own, prophet man. Because they're doing a lot of that too, challenging Moses, and Moses keeps reminding them, you're not really challenging me. Please revise your tone. So, the 10 Commandments, chapter 20, verse 1. And the God spoke all these words. I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery. You shall have no other gods before me. Let's see. Or besides me. Besides me and before me do have different definitions. Like as if multiple gods were optional. And really he's saying, no, just me. He's a jealous God like that. You shall not make for yourself an idol in the form of anything in heaven above, or on the earth beneath, or in the waters below. Pretty specific. You shall not bow down to them or worship them. For I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, punishing the children for the sin of the fathers to the third and fourth generation of those who hate me. So it's very important when you start looking at how a generation's at least 20 years. So you're talking about you commit a sin and he's going to continue to punish your descendants for 80 years after you. Okay? But showing love to 1,000 generation of those who love me and keep my commandments. So, okay. Now we're at that place, right? So if you come from a family of good stock, it's saying, oh, well, now you're okay. And you're covered for 1,000 generations. That's a lot. 1,000 generations is quite, because I just said it's 20 years. So now just expound that. You're 20,000 years of blessings. 20,000 generations, like 20,000 years of however many people are born in those 20,000 years. You shall not misuse the name of the Lord your God, for the Lord will not hold anyone guiltless who misuses his name. So you can't be running around saying, well, God said. And especially if it's not, you don't have something like this that you can point at. Right? Especially in the Jewish faith, because that's where this rolls into, and that kind of thing is considered blasphemy. So careful. Remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do your work. Okay? But the seventh day is the Sabbath to the Lord your God. Again, our week is not really Monday through Sunday. It's Sunday through Saturday. The seventh day is Saturday. On it you shall not do any work, neither you, nor your son or your daughter, nor your manservant or your maidservant, nor your animals, nor the alien within your gates. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea, and all that is in them, but he rested on the seventh day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and made it holy. Honor your father and your mother. I actually reverse those things. You can see how that was in my household. So that you may live long in the land the Lord your God is giving you. You shall not commit murder. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not give false testimony against your neighbor. You shall not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife, or his manservant, or maidservant, or his ox, or donkey, or anything that belongs to your neighbor. So covet is pretty specific. Covet is to want, okay? But it's not just to want. Like, you could see anything. Like, you could decide you like this right here, and you want to get one like it, and you're not really coveting. It's only if you insist it must be this one right here, and then you're coveting. Because you want to take that specific thing. It's not, just like you want this thing or that thing. We all have wants. We all have needs. He doesn't expect us to not have needs. He knows what all our needs are, so he's just going to give us whatever it is he knows. He knows we need. Jesus says it in the New Testament. He knows you need clothes. He knows you need food. He knows you need water. He knows you need all of those things. So, of course, he's going to make sure you have all those things because that's part of what he does. It might not be the version of it you want, but it's going to be what you need. Now, some people do indeed believe covet means don't want anything. You can't want anything at all. You just have to be happy with whatever. And maybe that's true. If one of you get up there before me, ask him. Come back and tell. I can guarantee you, if you do it right, there'll be some communication. Okay. When the people saw the thunder and lightning and heard the trumpet and saw the mountain in smoke, they trembled with fear. So it sounds like it was about a volcano about to erupt. Okay. They stayed at a distance and said to Moses, "Speak to us yourself and we will listen. But do not have God speak to us or we will die." Moses said to the people, "Do not be afraid. God has come to test you so that you will fear, so that the fear of God will be with you to keep you from sinning." You're going to be afraid that, you're going to get in trouble amongst this, especially these people with this emotional development. Because remember, they were slaves for 430 years. They don't know how to be what is self? What is self if somebody is defining you for you in every moment? That takes time to discover. So, if somebody's always dictating it to you, you don't know who you are. And you need to take time to get it. And this is part of the trek that they're in. They don't know how to be anything else. The people remained at a distance while Moses approached the thick darkness where God was. So no problem. Idols and altars. The Lord said to Moses, "Tell the Israelites this. You have seen for yourself that I have spoken to you from heaven. Do not make any gods to be alongside me. Do not make for yourself gods of silver or gods of gold." This is the Egyptians. We don't want you taking the habits the Egyptians had with you. "Make an altar of earth for me and sacrifice on it your burnt offerings and fellowship offerings, your sheep and goats and your cattle." Because remember, when their ancestors before this moment are making altars, wherever it is, they heard God talk to them. They build this pillar of stones. It's not anything that is crafted like that by the hand of man. It's what they can find. Okay? So, and there is a reason for those things. And it has to do with the things that are of stone and their ability to, one, like for this instance, because their offerings, your sheep and goats and your cattle, wherever I cause my name to be honored, I will come to you and bless you. So that's the end of that verse. So it's just, so it's not getting broken up. Look at what they're offering. They need something that's going to be able to hold that heat in order to cook that food into an ash. Because that's what they want to do. They want to melt it down completely into it. Like it needs to be completely burnt. If you make an altar of stones for me, do not build it with dressed stones. Okay? For you will defile it if you use a tool on it. Like, don't do that, because you're going to be chopping things up. You can think about what the actual actions of doing this is going to look like. They're going to have to butcher the animal also on this slab. So what is the knife going to do? And do not go up to my altar on steps, lest your nakedness be exposed on it. Okay, so people are walking around in these long robes. Nobody's got no pants. And let's just say the entire world's going through life Scottish style. Okay? And if you don't know what that means, you should probably go take it up. You can go ahead and Google that and find out for yourself. So, keep your modesty about you. Don't have to go up off of the ground so nobody's down on the ground looking up at you. Modesty is always appreciated, and in the eyes of the Lord. It doesn't matter, what gender identity or demographics anyone falls in.